welcome to episode 23 of the Slab podcast, where the grades matter and there are no rules. Appreciate all the love and support, everybody. How you doing, man? Happy evening.
Hey, fantastic. I have COVID, not feeling fantastic. I'm gonna push through. We got this.
Yeah, we're doing strong. I'm sitting on an ice pack. It's one of those episodes, you know what I mean? Like, we're still here. We're still doing it.
We got this. How you feeling?
Great, man. I'm feeling good. Very spry, ready to run a marathon, just the usual for me. No, I'm doing pretty good, man. I excited to get into it. Episode 23, the Michael Jordan episode. So you can't let people down on this one. It's a big one.
Like it. 23, retired for forever. Yeah. Absolutely. It's hard for me to comprehend. I can't put it into words really. 23 episodes, and we haven't missed one, right? I don't think we've missed a single week.
No, we haven't. No, not even close. It's either been Tuesday or Wednesday every week of the year, pretty much since the first week of January. So you want consistency in your life, you got Dagreenshiz Professor Oak here for you every Tuesday or Wednesday around noon. So we're here for you guys. We got you. Appreciate you tuning in, all the likes, all the comments every week. It's pretty awesome. So let's jump into the first and the spicy topic from last week. My man, Brad G. Cards kicked you right in the stones.
Yeah.
He said mayo on pizza is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. He was joking. Probably about 18 effing likes on that son of a bitch. Like, he was rolling deep in likes. Lots of upvotes.
Jokester. What a jokester. He was joking. He didn't mean it. He's just playing around. He's just trying to get attention. He knows mayo on pizza is sublime. It's lush.
I was trying to think after I read this. I'm like, in what man's situation is he sitting there slamming a pepperoni pizza, looking at the fridge like, you know what? That mayo is looking damn sexy. Let me go grab this real quick and dip this bitch in there.
Yep.
Is it Miracle Whip? Is it mayonnaise? What's the story on that, dude? That's disgusting. Why? When did that start?
I should probably tell the story of that, right? Like, how that actually started, because I feel like that's not something you can imagine. Like someone just going, "Oh, I should just put mayo on my pizza
Throw
today."
some mayonnaise on that bitch. Yeah. No, that's disgusting.
Not a thing, right? So, I was running a bar back in the old days back in England, and it was an American style bar in England, funnily enough. Now I'm in America, and the cooks, the chefs there, were all Polish. You know a little bit about the Polish community, right? Masz. I speak a little bit Polish from those guys. They taught me some stuff, and they also taught me some of their food and eating habits. And every night, because like I was like the bar manager dude, whatever you call it, like I ran the bar, they would give me a free pizza every single night. I'd literally get a free 12-inch pizza because I'd worked like, I don't know, 10 hours straight without a break, like just starving on Thursday. So you'd finish your night out with that. But like the chefs would do that too. They'd make themselves food, and they'd always make themselves like fancy pizzas and stuff, fancy little stuff just to sit down, and we'd all sit down together and we'd have food and a drink. You could buy a beer or whatever. And I remember that they had like a pile of mayo, literally like a mound of mayo, and they were all like taking slices and dipping it into it. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And these guys were like, what? And I was like, you're dipping pizza in mayo right now. I was just as confused as everyone hitting like on Brad's comment. I was like, what is going on? This is insane. And I'm talking like, I don't know, 2010 or something. It's a long time ago now. And they're like, go do it. Like, open your pizza, get a slice, do it. And I did it. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, I'll dip a bit mayo in it. I was like, actually, yeah, it tastes pretty good. And then the next time I had pizza, I was like, I feel like I've got to try it again and like take it more seriously because like they were really serious about it. So I was like dipping it in the mayo and eating it, and I was like, yeah, I can never go back now. Like I just can't eat it without mayo ever again. Literally every time I've had pizza for like the past 15 years, 13 years, whatever it's been, I've had it with mayo. I just can't not. Also hot sauce a lot of the time. I have a little bit of hot sauce on it with the mayo, but yeah, that's the origination, the origin of my dark side, I guess, for the pizza dipping. It's really good, and I urge you, as the Polish guys did, try it.
No, you couldn't pay me probably enough. I'm one of those guys where if I get a pizza, I'll eat the pizza. I don't put ranch on it. I'm good. Like steak, I don't put steak sauce. I don't put tons of seasoning on it. I just want to taste the meat.
Stop.
My wife will put ketchup on steak. Like you might as well just not. You might as well just get a cheeseburger from Wendy's at that point. Even that's how I feel about steak sauce too. Like putting steak sauce on it, might as well just go to freaking Culver's, get a cheeseburger, put some A1 on that bitch, and you'll be just as happy. I feel like.
A seasoned steak.
You
need
some type of seasoning's okay. Yeah,
you need salt and pepper, absolute minimum. I have a bit of a mix that I use, but I tell you what, steak sauce, I eat it on eggs. Every time I eat eggs, I have steak sauce A1 on it. It's fantastic on a scrambled egg.
You got a weird come up, let me tell you. That's some weird stuff. But mayonnaise,
Brilliant.
no. Would you ever, if it was an option, if you had your own pizza place, would you offer like a mayonnaise pizza? Just cut out the red sauce, put in mayonnaise, all on that bitch?
No, it's definitely condiment style. Like you need the full pizza flavor with the mayo as like a dip. So I'd probably like do flavored mayos as dips with it.
Yeah,
That's probably what I do.
I could still eat mayo, but it's got to be on a sandwich or dipping chicken in it. But that's about it. Mayo made me, like I was watching a cartoon on my 21st birthday, and a dude just started eating mayonnaise out of a dumpster in this cartoon, and it made me puke because I had a hell of a night the night before. Mayonnaise is disgusting on pizza. That's repulsive, bro. Like
I could dip mayo in mayo and be happy. I literally, you could give me a spoon. I'd eat mayo. It's that good.
Fucked up.
I'd have made the first time I made mayonnaise by scratch, actual mayonnaise, not being ludicrous right now. Actual mayonnaise, egg yolk and mustard, oil, a little bit of salt, like standard, fantastic homemade, like true mayonnaise was 2004, and I had it, and I was like, this doesn't taste like regular mayonnaise, but it's fantastic. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. Real mayo, scratch made, that would change your mind. Not this Hellman stuff that's like, say, straight and narrow. If you had a homemade one with pizza, I really think you'd enjoy it. It really is a gorgeous flavor.
Does your wife eat mayonnaise on pizza, or your kids?
No. My kid does because I showed them how to do it, and now they can't not do it. She's upset. She has to have mayo with pizza now.
You're joking, bro.
She can't eat pizza without mayo. She has a huge dollop, and she always asks for more every single time. I created a monster.
That is not good. And also, you said you were working at it's completely off topic of the Slabbed podcast, but you got my interest. The American bar in the UK, I couldn't imagine how degenerate that is. Like, explain to me what's American about it.
It was New York Italian, and it was like pasta, pizza, calzone, chicken parm. It was like a stereotypical like American Italian cuisine. Fantastic food, but it was cooked in England, so it was shit. It was absolutely terrible.
Not great.
it wasn't American Italian food. It was English food that they tried to make it seem like. So that's why we eat pizza every night, not the other stuff on the menu, because pizza's pizza, right? It's
hard to mess it up for sure.
Dough, sauce, and pepperoni. I mean, they even let me throw a couple of toppings on every now and again, and some mayo, obviously. But
Yikes.
So,
well, appreciate the spicy comment there, Brad. I could not agree more with you. That's disgusting.
Nope.
You are the minority, sir. Take the L. Take the L.
Did anyone back me up? Was it literally just me against the world in that comment section?
It's you and your daughter against the world. Literally, it's and the Polish people.
You all need to try it. You're
I'm
Polish family.
But I'll never try it.
Come on, you need to ask them about it.
I will. I got some Polish colleagues. I'll shoot them a message on Monday or next week.
Dzień dobry.
How do you say mayo in Polish?
I don't know. Mayonnaise.
We're getting demonetized there. That one, nice. No, sounded like freaking Borat.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
That's not Poland.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
I don't speak it fluently. I can have a very basic conversation, like hi, hello, how you doing, kind of thing. But cuss words. Obviously, they teach you the bad words. The chefs, teach you that stuff. But fun memories. And now I just can't eat it without mayo. Now it's just that simple. Pizza just has to have mayo, a bit of hot sauce. Yeah.
So let's get off the mayo topics. Let's get into actual some nonsense here. Now we're already freaking 12 plus minutes deep into this shenanigans. New spicy topics for next week. I'll let you go first.
Waifus are the new Pokemon.
For me, my spicy topic for next week. You should not be grading English cards at Beckett. Period.
Triggered.
Period. So everyone knows what to do. If you don't, welcome to the channel, but drop a spicy comment down below. The most upvoted comment will be discussed first in our next episode. Could be for 12 effing minutes, just like we talked about that mayonnaise on pizza. So the retention is great. So drop a comment, go check some of the comments, give a thumbs up to the one you think is the coolest, and we'll talk about it. So on to the standard programming. We got some data for you from the month of May. What you got, Professor Oak?
Gradient numbers. Okay. So shout out Gem Rate. They're pretty cool. I don't know. I'm still very dubious of data that I haven't been able to pour over myself, because I work with data a lot in my role. We're definitely influenced by a lot of data.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely skeptical, dubious of that kind of stuff. But I do feel like it's fairly accurate for the most part. It generates data. I feel like we can probably take it mostly with a pinch of salt, and it's a pretty strong guideline. It's probably 99% correct. So PSA in May. So we're going to go over the month of May. We didn't go over these numbers yet. They graded 1 million cards. It was 1,010,000-ish, a little over the milli mark. 456,000 of them were TCG non-sport. So 45%, basically, almost exactly 45%. Huge chunk. 45% to be non-sport for a sport authenticator. It feels like a pretty big market share, of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
There isn't anyone outside of CGC that specifically targets trading cards, right? I don't know if that's ever been addressed before by people.
Yeah, you got all the weirdos like AGS and all of those ones. Diamond Service Grading, that dude just TG. Who else? The one in the UK. Randall's Pokemon. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a handful of them. But the big four is PSA, BGS, SGC, and CGC. And CGC is the only one that targets only trading cards. So.
Yeah, and PSA is pulling in some pretty serious numbers. But we'll get to CGC because that is actually pretty interesting. SGC, they did 88,000 in May, which is, I mean, it's a heck of a lot. Like, still, that's a hell of a lot of slabs knocking out. Like, 88,000 slabs in a month is no joke. But 7,000 of them were TCG and non-sport, so they are very heavily focused still on the sports market.
Yep.
I don't know if maybe some specials. I looked at their numbers. To send one Pokemon card is $24 before shipping and all the rest of it, taxes, fees, that kind of stuff. Just the price alone isn't fantastic right now, which is surprising to me because you feel like they would want to be capturing some of that market share, maybe doing some specials, some TCG stuff. I don't know, but they are definitely focused on sport, and it's working well. I know a lot of people respect them. Obviously, 90,000 cards got sent there last month, got graded. So I think they're doing brilliant. BGS only graded 66. So SEC, as far as I'm concerned, are a bigger company than BGS now.
Yeah. Grading wise, for sure. Quantity. I would agree.
Feels that way. The difference between the two, flip-flopping between like SGC doing more graded, overall they did 7,000 TCG non-sport, but BGS did less. They only did 66,000, but they did 33,000 in TCG non-sport. So they were 50%. They were like the 50% mark, give or take, around a percent. They were pretty much at the 50% mark for TCG non-sport, which is dramatically higher than SGC being below 10% of TCG non-sport. So huge market share there of that. Instinctively, you think of people chasing the black label with Pokemon cards because of the value there and the excitement around that. That's where my head leads, but people landing on 9.5s and 9s, that kind of stuff, which is a solid grade. Like, that's where it should be, because most people are sending pretty quality stuff to BGS, I would think, to chase that black label. So getting a BGS 9.5 is nothing to frown upon, but it just means there's a lot of volume going there because of that.
Yeah.
CGC, 68,000. So more than BGS, less than SGC. But non-sport only, TCG non-sport only. So CSG is the sport side of stuff, and we don't have their numbers because they're still struggling to align with their pop report. I guess generally still struggling to pull their numbers a little bit due to some updates, some changes in code, whatever it is going on. But CGC graded about double what BGS did in TCG non-sport. So huge chunk of cards still, even though 2 years ago we were backlogged with PSA and people were sending to CGC and BGS or wherever we could just try and get cards graded, and we were like, after everything gets back, everything's going to crash, everything's going to go to zero, all the rest of it. People are still sending hundreds of thousands of TCG non-sport cards every single month. Literally hundreds of thousands. Crazy. It's crazy to me. It's nuts. I love it. It's exciting. I love these numbers. They definitely paint a picture of how active the market is. I know prices are up on some, down on a lot. Like, it's whatever. It's all over the place. But it really shows that, like, there's still a lot of activity, a lot of movement. There's a lot of things happening there. What do you think on those numbers? Anything that stands out to you? on there?
Yeah.
Anything that you want to touch on?
Yeah, quite a bit. So PSA 1 million, we had seen like 1.2 million a couple times in the last 6 months. So it's down a little bit, but being 50% TCG non-sport, I think is a lot because modern sports is not doing great for cards. A lot of people are realizing it's playing penny stocks a lot of the times, gambling on these rookie cards that are most of them don't make it. Like most of them do not become that superstar, and it's known right off the bat most of the times. Within the first season, you could see, wow, maybe I shouldn't have dropped 20K on all this dude's rookie cards trying to double my money. Like, there are way more easier plays you could be making in Pokemon right now. Predicting that is literally just you might as well just buy Bitcoin at that price and just spread your cheeks and point the anus to the sky and pray for goodness. But it's crazy. 50% is awesome. It's awesome to see the TCG non-sport that high for PSA. Same with BGS. I think it's basically the same story. BGS has kind of got a black eye for sports cards and Pokemon and everybody. So seeing TCG non-sport being 50% of the total graded there is kind of the same story as the PSA. SGC is like getting into Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit more. They've now dedicated an Instagram to it as of, I think, this year or the end of last year. So they realize it's a thing. Seeing these numbers, seeing 500K going to PSA they're like, we need some of that market share. Like, we're not doing that. We need to get on it. And let me tell you, their slabs look awesome with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards, and they sell.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Star Wars cards go to SGC lately, and I bid on a couple last week, and they look really good in SGC slab. That tuxedo effect is it's nothing to sniff at, that's for sure. I mean, it looks smart, right?
Yeah, it's a 7, but the slab, the biggest thing is the size. It's a pretty big slab.
Yeah.
But it's bigger than Beckett as far as like the length times height or whatever. But yeah, no, they're doing good things. Obviously, they're still huge in sports, still hold, I think, the top 2 sports sales of all time, with the Mickey Mantle and the Honus. But yeah, so really cool to see it. Non-sport is booming. So as we know, as we feel it, which is cool.
It's busy, right? I just feel like there's a lot going on.
Yeah. And then you hear I don't know if you watch Rudy Alpha Investments, you listen to some of his videos where he's more of a tunnel vision. He's looking at modern sealed products and he's like, wow, we're entering a bearish market. I was like, damn, the dude could almost not be further away from the truth. It's pretty crazy that is his thought. Like, he's just looking at the modern booster box prices of TCG English cards and just seeing all of what's going on there. He's like, wow, we're back to it. We're back to the roaring skies or whatever. Like, we're hitting it hard. But man, like the stuff going on, like just looking at those numbers, the May data for 500 non-sport cards being graded, I think it's the highest we might have seen for non-sport cards being graded in a month. I'd be curious to check that number, but it is, as we'll get into discussing some of these other topics, Pokemon is almost in another freaking bubble. Like we're here. So
yeah, a lot happening for sure. I mean, I don't even know if it is just modern. Like, a lot of people are talking about modern. I listed a pre-release Cedra yesterday or the day before, and I think I listed it Sunday and it sold yesterday on Monday. We're filming this Tuesday night, guys. And it sold within 24 hours, like at the price. Didn't even send me an offer, just snap bought it. But anyway, let's jump out of the data. We'll move on to next topic. We've got a few to go over. First of all, I want to skip down a couple here. Unigaba. What happened? Did you end up getting any?
Dude, so those of you that don't know what Unigaba is, it's an artist. It's an artist, right? An artist that has a certain way of doing things.
Is it?
I don't even know. Is it? That's
Is it?
So basically, it's a promo card released in Japan that he did a Pikachu, or he or she, I don't even know, did a Pikachu, whatever it was, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, who knows? But he's doing. He did the. You got the label. We're ready. We did the
show you Unigaba.
Yep, he did the. You're gonna do one. He did the evolutions, and everyone was stonking up. There you go. There's a Unigaba right there. But basically, what they launch at $7 a piece. They were up to $12. I bought 100 of them at about $10 a piece, and was excited. Bought them through eBay from somebody who had a decent Oknagaba. There you go. Somebody with good feedback, looked like a good store. I was like, yeah, sure. I bought 100 of them, dropped whatever it was, $1,100, and you get one card per pack. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a grading play. I've never done Japanese promos before, but I see what's going on in the Japanese market, so this is like no duh, like this is happening. But then they all got canceled by the dude. He's like, no, I'm just gonna cancel it. I'm like, oh, okay, good luck with that, bud. That's good business. Appreciate you. And now he probably made an additional $4 a card, a pack, maybe. So, yeah, feels bad for sure. So I didn't end up buying back in yet, but we'll talk maybe a little bit later what I ended up throwing the money into instead. So, what about you?
No. Avoiding like the plague. Not for me. Not fun. Unigaba Pikachu. That was a fun one. It felt like it was like a one-off audible, like something a little bit special just because it was different. You know, it's just a bit different.
Yeah.
But like blowing out on a whole like set of EV and evolution Pokemon for me was just like, okay, it's not that good. Like I don't know if it deserves like a whole line of them. I don't know.
I think they're going to be storm dog into the moon, though. Like, I don't think there's any shot that they're not going to.
I think because they're different because of evolutions. If they had done it with Weedle, I mean, it'd be a $1 card, right? The artwork isn't good. It's not the artwork. It's the Pokemon and that it's different.
It's different, and it's the Pokemon, exactly. And it's Japanese because it's...
Yeah, I want it to do well. I find it really interesting. Honestly, I know I talk negatively on it, but I do find it really interesting. I think it is cool. It's a cool scenario. I think it's a cool like setup. I just think the artwork's a joke. Honestly, I just can't appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel like the Umbreons are like $30 now raw, so that'll probably be a $200 PSA 10, which is free effing money. The other ones will probably be $120, $125, and then it could go down. It'll go down as more and more hit the market, but it's still a lot of.
Might go up. I mean, a lot of people thought
could go up.
Mario Pikachu's and some of the Punch Pikachu's, they thought that they were like not worth that much, and they were like already overpriced and stuff. You know, a lot of people spoke poorly on those kind of things, and I mean, they never seem to stop going up. Some of those things. I mean, I know they dipped a little bit, but they're still insanely high compared to what they were when it first came out.
Yeah,
could be that. Yep. I guess it comes down to how many are printed.
Yep. So they're cool. I'm sad I didn't get in on time. I feel like I could still get in and probably do all right because it is what it is, Japanese cards and all that whole situation. But
yeah,
like I said, I kind of sat with went with different direction with some of my funds, and looking forward to that play. But so you bought 0, you said, right? Not even interested. Yeah. So what about the 151 set? So that is the new next. I think it's releasing this Friday in Japan.
I keep getting spoilers. I keep getting pictures in Discord and YouTube and Instagram. It's all over the place. I don't want to see it. I want to see the cards. I still think it's a little bit too early. It looks good though. That Blastoise looks hella good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
That whole line, the Squirtle, War Turtle, and Blastoise that Arita did, absolutely murdered it. So, those are some of the coolest cards I've seen in a while. Some like I don't say that a lot at all. So those are sick cards. The Charizard, Charmander, Charmeleon are not that amazing. Even the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, they look nice. They're kind of busy, in my opinion, compared to the other three, the Squirtle line. But those look better, I think.
Yeah, I think they're good. I don't think they're bad. I mean, they're definitely not Unigabas. Like they're not like atrocious artwork.
Yeah.
But the Blastoise like just shines so much brighter. It's hard to like. I don't know. It's hard to like not see everything as like number 2 after when you see those artworks.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at everything though. I don't know if there's other cards that I'm more interested in, but that Blastoise did look pretty fun. It is a pretty cool artwork. I like when there's like, I feel like there's a scene, like something's happening. There's like a story. It like makes me question like what just happened, what's about to happen, what is happening. Like I want to like be involved in the story of it rather than just a picture of the Pokemon. I like when I can add a bit of curiosity to the artwork. The artists, yeah. I wish I could artists. I mean, what, Dan, people in Discord joke artists gonna art, like, they're gonna do that stuff, but they're really good. Like, there's a reason that they're doing the art for Pokemon, because they're top class, like world class artists. These guys are modern day Dagreenshiz in our own way. Like seriously, like they're doing art for one of what is arguably the most purchased art in 2023, and they're the artist for it.
Yeah, makes complete sense. It's crazy.
I mean, I would argue that this is probably the most purchased prints of a specific artwork of anything else I could ever think of.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not painting pictures of Tom Brady and selling them on cards. Like, they're photographs, and Pokemon is the biggest trading card game, as far as I'm aware, of where it's artwork. So I don't know what else could even come close to it. So I have mad respect for Pokemon illustrators. Like, I think they're top notch, incredible. I love the artwork. I was looking at it was like a Wobbuffet or something earlier. I was going through a bunch of cards, trying to pull out some code cards from just piles and piles of cards that I have here. And I was like looking at it and I was like, this is really cool. Oh, like, it's just like, just looking at some common cards. They're really cool. So I'm excited for it. I think it's a big year. I think it's a big year for Pokemon. I think we're going to make or break some stuff with the new generation.
Yeah, it's
stuff happening.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I also have seen all the spoilers. The Zapdos. I don't know if you saw the Zapdos card. Did you see it?
I did, because everyone was tagging you.
You didn't have to click on it to unhide it.
It looked good.
Man, I'm excited. So
it looked good.
Instead of buying the new Nagaba Pikachu or Eevee cards, I ended up buying 151 set Japanese booster boxes for first time. I've never purchased Japanese booster boxes my entire life. Mm-hmm. So I am sick and tired of opening English cards and not getting gradable cards. Literally, it's probably 1 out of 10 effing cards I pull out of a pack is maybe gradable. It's insane. So I'm over it. So I would rather pay for the inflated price that is the Japanese packs and have a little bit more fun ripping it, knowing I might be able to grade some cards. but yeah,
and
I
get
bought about
hits.
yeah. So I bought
Not even just the quality. I felt spoiled when I opened Japanese booster boxes. I'm like, actually getting good cards in it. It's fun.
Yeah, so I bought 20 boxes. Got a bunch of them coming.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to be opening a whole bunch or if I'm going to be just sitting on them or what I'm going to do yet, but
he'll rip a couple.
Yeah, I definitely think that's got to happen. So I'm excited for it. Looking forward to seeing how it does. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I think it's just a fun set. I think it's something that I don't know what it is. I don't know what the set is. It's called 151, right? And I think it's
In
called
Japan.
151 in Japan. Yeah. So it's like a flashback set.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's weird that it's part of Scarlet and Violet.
Right. Like
it's weird.
It's not a current set. It's like I don't know what it is. Like that's something I'm having a little bit of trouble with, but I know I like it. From what I've seen, I like it. It's good. It's good artwork. It's fun. It's exciting. Just seeing cards like you said, the Zapdos, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I like that it's not like reprints of stuff from the last 5 sets. It's like not a reprinted. Like when I say reprint, I'm like not a rehashed version of an older Zapdos with the same attacks and same abilities. So these are new cards. Like these are a new set for Modern, where the new Alakazam is going to be able to attack off the bench. Like I don't know if I've ever seen that before. So you got new things coming to maybe affect the meta in this set. So it's not just a collector push. There's going to be some things in there. I'm hoping some really playable stuff, but we'll see. I haven't seen a whole bunch of everything yet, I don't think. But yeah.
Yeah, that whole like playing without being in play situation with Alakazam, I think what's more important and what getting into the gameplay, we don't talk about that a lot, but I think what's more important with that functionality of it is the people that come up with decks for its weakness to counteract it is going to be more important than the actual action of Alakazam, because I feel like a lot of people are going to try and use Alakazam. There's going to be a lot of Alakazam decks. We'll see. I mean, who knows? I'm not a master at that stuff, but it seems like a no-brainer to want to try and integrate that somehow.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that card's going to do well price-wise on the secondary market.
Yeah. Say it again.
I feel like the Alakazam price-wise is going to do well to sell. I mean, maybe not the most amazing artwork or the most desirable Pokemon. People love it. Like it definitely is one that people love. But
yeah, it'll be the first printing of Kadabra since 2003.
Yeah,
which would be pretty cool too. And I don't even think he's getting a nod. I guess we don't have all like the secret rares and all that released yet, but that'd be pretty dope if they paid some respects to Kadabra.
Oh, geez.
So.
Yeah, it needs it. I feel like now they have a moment, they need to go big with it. Like they really need to make something special. Like I don't know, maybe not the artwork, but like maybe just do something special with it. Make it like a crazy attack, or like do something really exciting. Like make people want to interact with that card. We haven't had it for so long, and now it's available. Like they've got to knock it out of the park. They can't put it on the back burner. It's been a long time waiting, 20 years, like you say.
Yep. Yeah. You just to change topics here a little bit. You were talking about the art and all that different stuff, and I think the Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings set. I actually was looking at the entire set list this past this weekend, Sunday or whatever it was. I went through the entire set list because I was a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And I've been grading modern Magic cards when I think they're freaking dope. Like some of the Stranger Things cards, some of the Street Fighter cards I have. Like some of that stuff is freaking dope. Like I want some of the Walking Dead cards would be pretty dope. I haven't even dug into those yet.
Yes.
Huge fan of Rick Grimes and all that. Like I still need to buy one of those comics. It's on my to-do list. But yeah, I think I feel like Magic the Gathering is doing a big push to be kind of like Pokemon, making all these alt arts. They have less rare versions of all these cards, just like Pokemon does, but they are doing some pretty sick arts on these, and it's making me want to buy the grade. Like literally, it's not making me want to buy just to collect, but it's making me want to buy and maybe speculate a little bit on what could be, because I feel like they're trying. They're like, they see what Pokemon's doing. They see the secondary market of what people are doing there. And that ain't happening for modern Magic the Gathering. People aren't grading modern Magic the Gathering.
I can't wait to open it.
Yeah. How much did you buy?
Cannot wait. I tell you how excited I am. I watched Fellowship of the Ring on Saturday night in anticipation. Really? Like I'm that excited. I have them all on DVD. Huge Lord of the Rings fan. I bought a gift bundle from Mason, Cardinal Gaming. Shout out Mason. I pre-ordered a gift bundle. That doesn't drop when the boxes drop. It drops like a few weeks later. It's like it's like a second wave thing. So it was like, I guess I'm like, if someone pulls a 1 of 1 or whatever, there's going to be spoilers. Like I'm going to be like late to the game opening it, but like I'm just going to try and avoid looking at it as much as possible. Because like you say, the artwork's fantastic. You know, when there's some serialized rings, I think there's 1,900 serialized rings in total.
Oh, wow.
When I was looking at it. So you can still pull a numbered card, and exceptionally difficult to pull, even 1,900. Like with the amount of volume they're going to be printing, it's going to be very difficult to get a numbered one. But the different artworks, they're the only ones that I have looked at, is the actual different ring artworks that they have.
Oh, wow.
There's a few. That's fun, but I haven't looked at the full set list like you. I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible. I'm excited to actually see it in person. So
it was cool seeing like Samwise, literally everybody, every character you could think of literally had a card. Even some of the less popular characters that had like 20 minutes inside of the first movie. Like it was really cool. Like they had a full art Shire, like the Shire, like it zoomed out looking at the Shire with all these little houses and everything. I would love to have that card graded. I think you can buy it right now on TCG Player for like $1. Full art shot. Like there's some. Oh,
they're pre-ordering singles, or is it they actually have it?
No, I think might be just pre-order, but yeah, there's prices on a lot of the crap already on TCG Player. I was scrolling through it. Yeah, no, it was literally in the last 48 hours. I was scrolling through the entire set list on TCG Player too. I was like, "Yep, I might buy a bunch of those," and yeah, it'll be cool.
I like the Shire. It reminds me of the countryside. You know, I grew up in England. In the country, it's a little pinch of Englishness there. I think. I mean, obviously, a lot of the actors are English, but fun. It's fun. It's just. I just know without even looking at the stat, I just know it's going to be fun artworks. Like it's going to be cool visually. That movie and that movie set of movies, shall I say, is very visually appealing.
Yeah.
Like for how old it is, the CGI and the locations and the outfits and the characters, very, very visually appealing. Like you can't not watch it when it's on.
Yep.
Love it. So
yeah, I
hope that translates to the cards.
You're going to do a box break on it, or just like for yourself, right? You're just going to do a pack opening probably on your channel, you think?
I'll probably do it live. Yeah.
So I'm thinking I get similar to I'll get a box or something. I'd love to join you and do like a double, maybe a pack battle. It'd be pretty cool. We don't got to do something. It'd be pretty cool. I'd have a fun time doing that.
Yeah, I love it. With the one that I got, you get the packs, but because it's the gift box, you also get like there's like some different accessories and so there's like other things in there too. So that'd be cool to see what they are. I forgot what it is now, but there's like it's like a gift box, like all different things in
Yeah.
there. It's like fun stuff. So it'd be fun. The I know today the like the collector box thing jumped over 400. So I think people are realizing that now's the time. If you're gonna buy, like you gotta like buy it now, like pre-order it now. You need to get on it because I don't think there's many stores that have any pre-orders left.
Yeah, I feel like though, if the one ring is pulled, will it drop below 400? Like, doesn't the price just tank?
I don't think it'll tank. I think it'll go down. I definitely think it'll go down. But I think the set alone is that cool and that fun, and I think most people aren't counting on pulling the one. Like not like realistically, none of us are gonna pull the one ring. Like it just ain't gonna happen. I think most people have enough critical thinking to realize, yeah, it's realistically not going to happen. Just like when I buy a lottery ticket, I don't expect to actually win it. Feels a little bit like that. But it'd be nice to pull $100 win from it or a $50 win or whatever. For me, it's like I threw a little bit of cash at it and I get to see some cool artworks. The first time this has ever happened. And like, it's something that I'm smiling as I'm thinking about it. Like I genuinely think it's going to be really fun artwork and a fun set to open and a fun set to grade. I'm really curious on the quality of it because I've only opened a few packs of Magic. I haven't opened a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very curious on what that's going to look like. I mean, in a slab, I could see them looking pretty cool. They're going to be Magic setup. You know, it's going to be a Magic card, but it's going to have gorgeous Lord of the Rings artwork. It feels like a recipe for fire.
I know.
Pardon the pun there.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. So yeah, I would definitely, if you're open to it, I definitely would love to join it. That'd be cool.
Let's do it.
But yeah, we talked briefly about the $2 million. There was a $2 million bounty. Originally, it was $1 million from I forget what company, but it was
David Adams or whatever it was called.
What?
Is it called David Adams? The $1 million?
Might have been, but yeah, there was like had to be done within 3 weeks, I believe, of the set releasing. Like they put a timeline on it.
I didn't hear that.
Inducing FOMO.
I didn't hear the $2 million one either. Who's going $2 million?
Yep. I don't know what the requirements are for that one. It's probably some stupid BS just like that, where it's making people FOMO into buying and ripping. I don't know though, off the top of my head. I didn't see too much about it, but I did see a $2 million headline out there, which is absurd. Because there was just a one-of-one Yu-Gi-Oh card that was made in like 2007 or 5 or whatever that just sold for like $300,000. So, there is reason. Yeah, there's reason for David Adams to pump that thing up because they're selling booster boxes. Of course, they got an incentive behind it. Now they'll be able to sell out. Whereas if they were to pump up that one-on-one card, they don't have any booster box inventory behind it, so there ain't no W in it for them. So it kind of makes sense in that aspect. But yeah, my opinion, if it does get pulled, it's going to take a hit, and maybe that's the play. Maybe I wait 6 months, and if it gets pulled, then great. The price will be a little bit cheaper. But if it doesn't get pulled in 6 months, I feel like those things are just going to keep going up and up and up and up until it does, and then it'll take a hit.
You know, you want to hear something a little nefarious? You know what I would do if I pulled it? I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't go into the 2 million or the 1 million. I wouldn't mess around with any of that. I would not tell anybody. Which obviously, I mean, we're probably going to pull it together live or whatever. But like, I'm talking about if I was a person that I'm not going to pull it, but like, if I was the person that did pull it in that situation, I want to tell a hella soul or tell no. Just like if you won the lottery, you don't tell anyone. You figure everything out first. What I'd do is I'd put it in a nice little card saver, tuck it away for a little bit, and I'd buy as many goddamn boxes as I could. Let it go up, let it double in price. Everyone's going to keep chasing, keep buying, keep opening until it's to the point where, like, okay, I've made like silly money on all these boxes, sell all them, and then bingo, cash in. Here's my $1 million ticket or whatever the bounty is at that point when it's been hyped up even longer.
I feel like it won't be hyped up. I feel like the $2 million bounty is also going to have a time frame, which is kind of why they did 3 weeks, David Adams or whoever it did. I feel like this is modern FOMO. The price being $2 million is the highest it'll ever be. And in a year, it'll be...
Oh, not that long. I don't think that long. I'm talking like hopefully within a couple of months. I don't know. Like I guess I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's a cool concept to think of though. Like what's going to happen? Is it going to be pulled day one? Are they going to actually release it in the first wave on day one? Seems dumb when you're trying to sell as many booster boxes as possible. Like I wouldn't want to drop it in the first pack that gets opened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's wild in the sense knowing that when we're going through these things on a live YouTube, the potential of pulling a $2 million card out of there is freaking absurd. Like any modern Pokemon or anything, you're talking like $140 max generally, unless you're ripping whatever it is, Evolving Skies, and you're a madman. But yeah, it's wild. It'll be cool. Lots to think about in that, but I'm excited to also, like you, grade some cards and get a PSA 10 Frodo Baggins and Smeagol, and that'll be cool.
Yep, you get some precious going on. I'm genuinely, I really am excited to see it. That set has made me want to get more involved with Magic.
Wow, you think it's going to do a hard pull on people getting them back into the game?
Them doing that has really made me be like, okay, like I can get behind this. Like I genuinely want to be involved in that set. Like I think that's really cool. I'm really excited for it. And what else? I mean, maybe they're going to flash back to some older stuff. Maybe they'll cross over with something crazy like Batman or something. Maybe they'll jump into Marvel or DC or do some kind of like integration with another IP. Who knows? It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Twilight's next.
Sesame Street. I mean, I feel like they could do anything now. Like Lord of the Rings. I mean, anything's off the books. They just did. You said they did Stranger Things and Walking Dead, Street Fighter. Like they've done
Godzilla.
It feels like stuff where there's like bad guys.
Yeah, it's almost like sci-fi-ish type stuff. Like
right, there has to be like a good and evil, almost kind of setup. Dinosaurs are bad guys. Some of them. Those Velociraptors, little scratchy pants, little scratchies with them claws. I tell you. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. It really is fun. I like talking about it. What else you got?
Speaking of fun, Lorcana's getting sued by Upper Deck. Yeah, that's exciting stuff. So pretty much Upper Deck is going after Lorcana because one of their employees had, I believe, just left and went to work for Ravensburger.
So bad.
And is incorporating stuff based on what Upper Deck's lawsuit is. They're incorporating this gentleman, Ryan, I believe his name is Ryan, is taking some of the game design into Lorcana, developing Lorcana. So either he's going against a non-compete agreement that would hold up in court if he had a non-compete.
If you had one
like that.
Yeah.
Because that would be 100% a compete. Like Like but the one big thing that I've heard and listened to a whole bunch is you cannot, patent gameplay mechanics. So this guy going and taking what is mechanics from Upper Deck, like they have this whole game designed at Upper Deck, and he went over to Lorcana, and it's completely different character names. Of course, like Upper Deck wasn't using Princess Fiona or whatever. They weren't using any of those names. Sure, maybe they have the mechanics, but that's it. Like, and you cannot have any type of patent on those. So it'll be really interesting to see how it develops. Lorcana has not made any public statement on this at all. I don't think they plan to, because I feel like they're kind of like, good luck.
I mean, there's a lawsuit involved. You can't. Like it's got to go to court. I think the thing for me, which like I haven't heard anyone touch on or talk on yet, is was there intention to do that? Was he at that company at Upper Deck figuring things out, learning, soaking up skills, resources, like trying to take everything with the intention of taking that to a competitor and doing that? That's going to be the battle in court, is knowing that was going to happen and him purposefully, nefariously doing that. Or was it he got fired and then he was like, oh, I got an idea, and then he used the same mechanics or whatever? Like, I feel like there's going to be two very opposite sides battling in this court, like very different stories being told. That's going to make it difficult. Yeah. This isn't a clean-cut lawsuit, despite at first glance how it sounds. It isn't, because of what you just said, like the mechanics. And I mean, what is it that they own? What is it that they design truly that Lorcana is now doing? That's what needs to be ironed out.
Yeah, I think it's almost a pipe dream getting this. Basically, they filed an injunction where they don't want them to release the game. The thing's releasing in what, August or soon?
It's ready, right?
Yeah, they have at Gen Con in Indianapolis here soon. It'll be there and people will be playing with decks. So knowing that, there'll be a secondary market created that weekend. People will be selling those decks that I played with at Gen Con. Those will be probably insanely priced. But yeah, something's going to have to happen here pretty quick. Some type of news will have to come out, because either they're going to be printing the game and running it, or they're going to be listening to the lawsuit and not kicking it off right away. So, but I feel like Lorcana's coming, not going to stop, based on the things I've been hearing, some of these different podcasts I've listened to.
I mean, you just keep going till the court says no. Right? I mean, yeah, I would. I'd just keep going and going and going until police or court or whatever it says, no, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, when they say you can't do that anymore, then they say you also owe them $20 million for all the money you made.
Yeah, the profit.
And your company's completely effed. Like, good luck, Ravensburger, with your board games and everything, your puzzles that you sell. Like, that's a lot of money you're going to get. I'm sure they're not used to this type of bad press. There's no such thing as bad press, because it's definitely press. Maybe the guy at Upper Deck bought a bunch of stock into Lorcana and maybe bluffed a freaking lawsuit to pump up the publicity, because it definitely worked. That'd be interesting. Super tinfoil hat there. but yeah, no, it's crazy. Having that news drop in the month, just a couple months before releasing, is freaking insane. So wild.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. That was total shock to me.
Yeah. Wild. I was wondering, I had put the note down here. We had talked a little bit about it. We're talking about Lord of the Rings and different stuff. But I was thinking, you had mentioned today a card you had pulled out of a pack. So I was curious, like, just in general, fun little side subject. Like, what is like the best card you've pulled out of a pack? Money wise, monetarily, like, what is that card? Was it back in '99? If you look at today's value, probably, maybe.
I'm really bad at like memory stuff, at remembering cards and numbers and stuff. Back in Yodi days, I pulled Hollow Dark Charizard, Dark Blastoise. I pulled a few, a couple of nice base set cards, nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing nuts. The Dark Charizard was probably the most fun one for me. And then recently I've pulled a few nice ones. I did really well with Special Delivery Charizard and Special Delivery Bidoof. Like I did well with those, but they weren't packs technically. I just kind of got lucky with them. Yeah. But set packs, I mean, like today, you just mentioned, I was listening to Mason talking about, shout out again, Mason, cardinalgaming.com. He was saying about some of the prices of some of the cards for Paldea Evolved have tanked. They've dropped down because of a bunch of people getting them listed, like a lot of volume getting them listed, and it's kind of drove the price down of some of the cards, not some of the others, the top tier ones that are more difficult. And he was basically saying like the lowest listed of the high cards, like the Iona, it was like $199 or $189 or something like that. And I was like, I should pull a few packs and just see if I can pull it. And I grabbed a booster bundle. I've got a pile of booster bundles over here, and I opened 6 packs, and on the 6th pack I pulled the Iona. It was right there, and I was literally listening to Mason talk about it, and I was like, this is insane. Like I couldn't believe it. I took a little break from work, a little lunch break, and I did it. I was listening to him, and I was like, this is nuts. It was just nuts. And yeah, I mean, I sold that within an hour for $140.
That's pretty damn good.
Modern market is different world. The guy that bought it was messaging me. He was excited. He was saying that he was going to play it.
That's
he wasn't
crazy.
going to grade it. He was going to play it in his deck. Yeah. He was like, I can't wait to have this in my deck and for people to see me like playing this version of it, because obviously you have it's the same card, but like I was like trying to imagine, like picturing playing with it, and like that would be cool. Having like an expense. I can see why a player would want that, just like a soccer player or a football player would want like really nice cleats. Like you just feel like there's like a confidence, there's like a good feeling about playing with a good kit, good tools, like a mechanic having a good snap-on wrench or something. You just feel good. You feel like you can accomplish more. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him. I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, playing those max rarity cards is weird for me to see in Pokemon, because Yu-Gi-Oh, that's what it's all about, 100%. You can have like a $10,000 deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, which is crazy. Whereas in Pokemon, my deck is probably $30.
Right.
I like reverse foils, so like I just went on TCG Player. I bought 4 Ionos for like $5. I've got all 4 reverses for $5. I think they're in the mailbox, like $5. And I get it. I get people wanting to flex with their high rarity cards, but I also, the way I shuffle decks, Pokemon decks particularly, because they're so big, I'm like bridging almost. Like I'm almost bridging these cards, and it just feels nasty doing it to $140 for one card.
Yeah, feels like there's a bougie community for the players, and I get it. I think it's fun. I was excited for him. Like it's not me. It's like you were saying, like you wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Like I own playing cards. I play poker. I bridge them. I don't shuffle like that with my good cards. I got some nice sets of cards. I shuffle very carefully, very, very cleanly. But with a regular set,
bicycles,
yeah. I'm definitely playing that way. So, yeah, I think that's the most modern one. That's pretty cool. I pulled the Miriam LOTR from the last set. Somehow I managed to pull both of them.
It's impressive.
I just pulled recently. I opened some Silver Tempest from that GameStop drop. I opened some of that, and I pulled the Galar Friends, with the trainers in there. I've had good luck with good trainers, and they seem to be doing well at the moment. I think there's a lot of excitement about some of the trainers, the people. I don't know if it's like the human connection, because when I was a kid, looking back to base set Jungle Fossil, like, you didn't want trainers. That ain't what you wanted to pull.
Yeah.
Like, you did not want to pull Professor Oak.
Yep.
Like, let's get real. No one wanted Professor
No.
Oak.
Item binder.
Yeah. I think things have changed when it comes to the human aspect now. I don't know if it's just the cards and the sets. I think it's partly the games. I think it's partly the shows. I think it's like a combination of the IP currently with like the way that they've modernized everything. It feels like everything has been modernized. That's exciting. It's like truly feels like a new generation. Scarlet and Violet really does feel that way.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. Real quick, just to mention my best pull for the people who care. But I had opened a 1996 basic starter deck at Collecticon Denver, purchased from Catch 'em All Collectibles. Pulled a Blastoise out of that. That was pretty sick.
Was that the one that you pulled at the booth?
Yep.
When you were actually there and you were recording it? Yeah.
That's probably the best card I've ever pulled out of. It's basically a pack because you get a random hollow. 1 in 16 chance of getting a Charizard or whatever. But that was really cool, being able to pull that. I've pulled a few other things, but especially nothing modern. Zero. Pulled a Leafeon Alt Art from Evolving Skies, which was like $100 at the time, which is probably the second best card I've ever pulled. But it's wild. It's wild. So, yeah, I love it. But yeah, getting back to the waifu card real quick. I feel like the reason like Iono in English is so expensive at 140, like you sold it, is because of the Japanese influence. Like everyone, they see the price of what it is in Japan. They're like, yeah, so it should be the most expensive card in our set, right? Like I feel like we're piggybacking off, like it's following suit to what that is in the sense. It's way cheaper. Like that card's way cheaper than the one in Japan. So
I'm there. I'm right there with you. Old school collector, like it doesn't make sense to me. I think it's crazy. I don't get it, but I get it. Now I've seen it in person today. I've got to play devil's advocate. It looks really cool. Like it's a really pretty card. There's a lot of cool colors and like textures and different I don't know what you call it, like different focuses. Like some parts are blurry, some are like really clear because it's like focused on her being the influencer.
A lot of different levels.
Yeah, it really makes it look like you're looking at it through a camera lens that the autofocus is set on her, and like everything else around her is like part of the picture. Like that is really smart artwork, like from the artist that did that. And you've got Pokemon integrated into the food with the different colors and textures. It visually, I don't think I realized looking at pictures how good it was until I saw it in person. I was like, I mean, this is a pretty special card. I mean, it really is a cool card. Like, and I'm not one to, rave about waifus or trainers or whatever, but like, it's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, I think that card is 1,000 times cooler than Miriam.
Yeah, I think what I like about Miriam is it's really like pleasant. It's like really calm and pleasant and like easy to enjoy. Whereas this one with Iono kind of tells a bit of a story. You feel like it's more interactive and colorful and like
Yeah.
A little bit more like vibrant, like something's happening. Whereas the Miriam feels a little more like basic and chill, like calm, pleasant. You know, it's two completely different vibes. It's fun. They're fun. I'm enjoying modern, honestly. Like some of the cards, they're okay. I'm not loving the EXs like I thought I would. I thought they were gonna look a little more special than what they have been. I've pulled quite a few. I'm not in love with them, but some of the old talk stuff, like, pretty cool. That Iona was really special in person.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. No, that's crazy. 6 packs and you pulled that. It's pretty dope. I would definitely stop while you're ahead. Don't open any more, please.
Just sitting there, trust me. I mean, it's tempting. It's like when you're in a casino and you win, you're like, oh, I should bet more. You know, like it's very easy to do that. But yeah, no, they're gonna sit there for a little bit.
Yeah, you made $140. Now go buy another $140, rip it again. You're gonna make more money, right? Easy peasy.
Yeah, why not? That's how it works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just touched a little bit on the Iono in Japanese as well. What's going on there? Because it's not just Iono. We're talking about Sun and Moon cards, like some of the Sword and Shield stuff, waifu trainer stuff.
Yeah,
it seems insane. Team, I mean, everything's popping.
Not everything, because but yeah, a lot of. I'd say Sun and Moon to now. Those cards definitely got a bunch of eyes on them. But like in the last PWCC auction, I was looking. There are PSA 10 Neo Genesis holographic cards selling for like $60. The pack costs $200, $150. It's crazy the prices on some of this crap. Like the packs are really expensive because you can get a Lugia out of that, and it's like $1,000 in a 10, which isn't huge. You might as well buy some freaking modern packs at that rate. You're gonna probably make more money. It's crazy. Like some of the prices. Like there was like $15,000 trainer card from 2019, 2020. I don't even know what it was. It was like had like 5 people on the card. It's like multiple sold listings of this thing.
Yeah.
15, 13,000. The 9.5s were selling. The BGS and CDC 9.5s were selling for like $6,000. Jesus Christ! I just can't keep up. I was not ready for this to happen and balloon up, and I don't think anybody really was. There are people that are into Japanese Pokemon and have been forever, and are going to do extremely well with what's going on. But a lot of the people I talk to and know were not into Japanese that fully. Getting modern and getting modern waifus and all that stuff, it is just an absurdity. It's literally 2020 English style, American style booming right now over there in Japan. We had talked about it last week, I think, a little bit, and it no end in sight. It has to end, right? We saw how it ended here, crashing back down, but it still stayed higher than before. So I'm curious, really curious. Like booster box, like the 151 set is 4x or 3x the standard MSRP right now. Like how long before release? That thing's already booming. Like every set's doing that right now. But how much longer are we doing this, man? What do you think about it all?
Yeah, it's good questions because all we need is more special stuff to come out in the next couple of sets, and we're heading into a Charizard set, right?
Yeah, Obsidian Flames or whatever.
Obsidian Flames are like, that's not going to damper any nerves right there. Like we're going straight into the pits of fire.
Yeah, it's a Charizard, Dragonite, Tyranitar set. Like I think those are 3 of the pack arts. Like those are 3 of the goats.
It's good timing. I tell you, like put gas on the fire while it's burning. It's gonna be a hot year for a lot of cards. Japanese, with what you were saying about it, it doing really well, and it's kind of hyping up very similar to, excuse me, to what English did. I'm very curious if that's going to overflow into English. Is some of the English cards going to start maybe popping a little bit? Because I don't know if you remember, but some of the English cards ended up being very difficult to get. So then they ended up going for the Japanese version of it that was much cheaper because no one wanted it. Is the tide turning there? Is the table turning? Maybe. Like there might be a couple of cards that we now see getting snapped up in English because the Japanese has got too silly. The only tricky part with that is there's a lot of cards that don't translate, especially when you talk about Japanese promos. Japanese promos are doing exceptionally well for a lot of stuff right now. I was looking at the Lily family promo the other day in a 9. I think the bidding was at 15K in a 9, and the 10 was like 30 something. And I think it went way higher than that. Insane numbers, but like that isn't in English, so like they can't move it over to English. So then what do they look for? Do they look for like set cards? Do they look for a different type of promo? Do they look to Chinese? Do they look to Portuguese? Do they start with French? Are we chasing Glorex? Like I don't know. Like, who knows? But that's an interesting concept too. The language barrier seems to be getting broken down. Like it seems to be less about the language and the set and more about the artwork or the character or the Pokemon.
Yeah. I feel like that's why the Iono here is the most expensive card out of the set. Truly. There is definitely some crossover. There are some Japanese people that are like, I speak and read English. Like this thing's just as good to me in English. Like let's run it. Unfortunately, I really, it would be so interesting if you could play Japanese cards in like modern Pokemon decks. That would be crazy to have like the secondary market for competitive play overlapping, but they got it completely separated right now, and you'll never probably ever experience that. But that would be really interesting. Yu-Gi-Oh's the same way. I don't know why they don't just break that barrier down and make it freaking universal, but
we'd need the sets to align, right? That's what would literally be the same card but in a different language.
Yep. Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh is the same way, where they're a month or two in advance of the US.
Okay. So yeah, same situation.
Yep.
It's not quite the same kind of situation. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's
cool thought.
Yeah, that's why I bought a bunch of Japanese 151 and don't plan on buying English because F that. I don't want to get 7 straight out of my effing pack anymore. I'm sick of it. It's disgusting. I don't know how you can't print an effing card. The people in China making freaking Metazu make freaking gorgeous looking borders. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's crazy.
I was talking about okay, so I pulled the OR Miriam, I pulled the OR Iono, I pulled the Galarian Friends full art. Like some of the most recent trainer cards that are like really hype, really sought after, all 3 of them weren't PSA 10. All 3.
Exactly.
I sold them raw, where I would have probably graded them and kept them for myself as like pretty cool slabs of like fantastic cards. I'm like, I don't want an 8 like of this. Like it just doesn't seem realistic to me to collect this in an 8. I might as well just keep it as raw or sell it as raw. Or I don't know. It's just the quality isn't there in English right now. It really isn't. Even in the one card that you really need it, it's not there.
Yeah, I feel like they haven't changed the cutting blade since Evolving Skies. So
the corners on that Iono today, I mean, like it felt like Dollar General was like in control of it. Like it didn't feel like a multi-billion-dollar corporation was producing that product. And the artwork was fantastic, absolutely amazing. The texture and the foiling, like everything on it was brilliant. And then you look at the actual physicality of the card. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
So what's going on with sketch cards? Let's hear about it.
I've been doing a little look around of some other stuff outside of Pokemon. I've been in a couple of live streams with some Marvel collectors and Star Wars collectors, that kind of stuff. I've been kind of involved in a few of those lately, watching and listening in and in the chat and stuff. And they've had illustrators on. Shout out to some of the guys that I've been watching through Swami. Introduced me to a bunch of them. So Swami, True Blue, Melfi, Dan or Retroverse. Who else? I'm trying to think of some of the names. Nutico. There's a bunch of guys. Derpadoo. Bunch of guys in Discord and YouTube realm, and they've been like basically educating me and showing me a bunch of stuff. I know a couple of them listen to the podcast, so shout out you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. They've been really good at like educating me on some stuff. And I kind of stumbled upon some cards that are called sketch cards, where basically in a set, it would be like a Rita, essentially, in Pokemon. So I'll use an analogy of like if a Rita did this. So a Rita would be given a blank Pokemon card and draw on the Pokemon card, literally a Pokemon card.
Yeah.
And then that would be inserted into a pack as like a one of one, like literally the only one it's made, not printed or like doubled up or anything. And I found some of those that I really liked in Star Wars, some Star Wars cards. One of them was like a Darth Vader one and a Chewbacca, a couple of those, like, spoiler alert. I'll have to show it on my Mail Day video, next Mail Day video I do, but some really pretty cool ones. And I just kept it in until I won. I wanted them so bad. I thought they were so cool. They're really awesome. And I feel like that would be such a cool concept for Pokemon to do, but I don't want them to do it. It's like the strangest feeling, because it would therefore create a one-of-one situation, which I think would really be a detriment to the rest of the set and to like what we have. Like, I think it would just screw everything up. Whereas like Star Wars and some of the sets, like, they're set up to have one-of-ones. That's like a thing, and like they're all different numbered ones, and there's base and parallels and this and that. Like, there's an area for that, and it makes sense. It's like accepted. I think having something so new and so drastic happen to Pokemon, I don't think it'd work. But I'm excited to get them in. I'll have to show them off in a Mail Day video, and get them in the Discord, get some pictures. But I think they're really cool. I think they're exciting. So dipping my toes in something a little bit different that I wouldn't normally be in has been fun. Like seeing some other slabs, they're in slabs, and seeing some other IPs. And I've bought some Spider-Man. I bought some comics. I bought some random stuff lately. Just kind of broadening my horizons, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah.
Some fun. I've got right now at PSA. I have Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like Oak has Yu-Gi-Oh cards at PSA. I've got Metazoo at PSA. I have some other random stuff. Like I'm having fun, like playing around with some different stuff. Not just Pikachu's. Yeah, it's fun. I'm having a good time. So, yeah, I want to touch on that because I know there's people in here that listen that are also dabbling in other stuff, and it's fun. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like I'm similar to you. I'm not in the sketch cards, but I'm all over the different stuff. Like right before this podcast, I was buying a video game. Like it's
yeah,
rolling deep in it, man. Rolling deep in the collector boy syndrome. So not a full-time seller yet. I don't think I ever will be. I enjoy collecting things, and look, like you said, like the new Lord of the Rings set, that'll be pretty dope.
Oh,
More of a collector boy for that, for sure. Our boys at CGC today announced they have big news coming on June 20th. Freaking just cliffhanging us for 7 days. What do you think it could be? I feel like it's something we have heard about. Maybe it's something Matt even mentioned when he was on our podcast in an earlier episode. What do you think could be dropping on the 20th?
I don't know. Maybe a new label or something. It could be. I mean, maybe.
What's your guess? Take one guess, and we'll see who's right. Send it.
I feel like you're trying to set me up. I think there's going to be a change to 10 labels.
Because you said it, I won't say that one. But that would probably be my pick of what is finally going to get announced, because I feel like that is probably further along than what I'm going to say. But
I don't think it's one thing.
Oh, really? You think it's multiple things? No. I don't think they'd blow their load on multiple awesome events with one announcement.
Really?
No. I'll tell you what, I hope this 7-day drag-along's not, I really hope it's not like a new Pop Report released notification saying, hey,
oh, stop. No.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Pop Report now available. Like, I'd effing be pissed.
No.
It better be the label change or give me pack grading at CGC. That's kind of what I'm hoping. One of those two would be sufficient of a 7-day cliffhanger.
Label.
That would be dope. I'd be super ecstatic to get my Kyogres and other cards upgraded into some new labels. That'd be dope.
Or maybe keep them in the old one. Maybe be vintage.
No. It'd be super dope to have the only first edition base set card in existence of a 30,000 plus graded with that new label, 1 of 1.
Yeah.
Damn. Because right now it looks like a pristine 10. There's a bunch of those. So that'd be dope. That would be dope. That would set it apart from the rest of them.
That'd be really exciting. As long as I think I don't want to like put a damper on it, but I just really hope they don't change any of the grading scale.
Yeah.
Like
that'd be nasty.
It really just needs to be the label if they are going to do it. Like I really hope, because we've had that happen before, and there was a lot of like craziness, drama that went on with that. Maybe 10s are easy and all that kind of stuff. I really hope they keep doing what they're doing, because I feel like they're in a really good spot right now for the most part. We're not seeing 8.5s across the board anymore. Like grades feel more accurate than they were, right?
Yeah.
I think that. But
in general, yep.
It seems like you agree. Like they feel like they're more accurate. So
closer to the PSA scale, but still a little bit more harsh on 10s.
Stick to it. Stick to that. Just change the label. Like that's the only thing I'm hoping for, and I think would be a very good change. I'm honestly excited for them. I'm pumped for them. I think it's gonna bring a next level. It's gonna kick them up to a different level, like a next chapter in that book kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's a big one, right?
Like I said, I'm gonna be super disappointed when we got the new Pop Reports for all these TCGs. You're welcome. Like, damn, that would suck, man. That would feel really bad. So hopefully it's not that, but here we go. We'll see in about a week.
I think more than one thing. I still think it's more than one thing.
What do you think it is? What's the other thing you think it is?
Let's talk about it after it hits.
Okay.
My chair's so broken. I'm sorry. It keeps clicking.
I was just going to mention a couple other awesome podcasts have taken off in the last week. Shout out to Pokemon Radar Podcast. He was kind enough to bring on an upcoming YouTuber on his first episode. Goes by the name of PokeRev. I think that guy's probably going to go places eventually, but he's up and coming, and it's cool that Pokemon Raider would have him on his channel. Really cool. So also that, and Next Gen TCG is another podcast. I don't know if that one's going to be weekly or not. Pokemon Radar is weekly at this point. Next Gen TCG, I think, is at least monthly. I'm not sure. I can't recall if it was weekly or not, but I know Gem Mint Pokemon is one of the co-hosts. He is the one co-host I know and have met a couple times, and shout out to him for taking this leap into this type of media. And I am excited to have more stuff to listen to. All of that coming in the last week. So looking forward to the next episodes.
Yeah, we need more. I love it.
Yep.
Very exciting. I love that people are talking about stuff, so, like that simple. Like people are talking about it and not just someone made a comment earlier about echo chambers that I was reading. I think it was in the Discord, and I don't ever want people to feel like they're in some kind of echo chamber or like they're in some little community and they shouldn't hear or see outside stuff. Like, you need to hear other people's perspectives to be able to critically think about, am I successful? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Is there something I should start doing? Should I stop doing? Should I continue doing? You've got to hear other people talk about this stuff. Whether that's collecting, buying, selling, whatever, like any aspect. So yeah, for me, the more podcasts, the more people talking about it, the better. And like you said, like there's some pretty class acts there, and touching different realms or doing different stuff. I didn't know Radar was doing it weekly, so that's cool.
Next episode this Thursday as Old School Pokemon.
Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting one there. I think that's going to be. Hopefully, he drills Nick on like what he really does. I'd really like to hear a lot about like his life as a seller. eBay Live, eBay Bite Nas, that kind of stuff. His consignment, I know he's been juggling a lot of stuff. He's dropped TCG player, but there's a lot going on. I know he's a busy guy, so I'm excited to hear more about him, and what he's doing and the way he runs his business. So I'm hoping it's gonna look that way, but we'll see. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited for him.
Hell yeah, man! Definitely. Exciting times ahead of us.
Yeah. I don't have anything else. Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. I appreciate that. Was good. Good discussions. Appreciate all the love and support, everybody. Hit the like button, why don't you? Hit the mother effing like button on the way.
For those of you left still listening, hit that like. Don't forget your spicy comment. Don't forget your spicy topic. We often do pick them up in a future episode, so even if you don't win, you still get in there because the ones that we love and do get some votes and do well, we do grab and run with at some point. So thank you all for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Some lot happening there. There was a lot to go over this week, but some pretty cool stuff. So we appreciate you sticking through with us, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Yeah, and 55 likes, Oak won't shave his beard.
God. Well, I'm going to end up like stick in the dump. Guys, see ya.